Hey guys, we're at Hunter rank 39 here in Monster Hunter Worlds, and I wanted to show you the high rank armor set that I've been focusing on mostly. Previously we did a video on the low rank armor set, the Odogaron set, which was pretty awesome. So in high rank I was quite curious as to what I would gravitate to, and it seems to be Odogaron again. Let's get into this so I can show you what we've done and why I think this is probably one of the better end game high rank armor sets that we have here, especially for greatsword players. So what I've done here is a combination of B and A Odogaron and a Dragonking eye patch. If I can get to my skill sets here, Dragonking eye patch has got the weakness exploit level 2. And a slot, which we are using for flinch. We've got B, which is speed sharpening. I've also got a speed sharpening there to max that out. Critical eye on the A vambraces is my go-to. Critical eye again on the coil. Critical eye again on the greaves and quick sheath, which is very, very handy. And then I am also using a weakness exploit charm as well. Now, if we actually dive into this, what this is going to give you is the full Odogaron Mastery, which I didn't realize actually applies if you use either A or B. Very excited about that. I thought it was just one or the other. So I've got a stun effect to draw attacks. That's great. That's not the main focus of this build though. Weapon sharpness does not decrease after a set time after sharpening. I'm very excited about this. I've got a rarity 8 greatsword now that's got white damage sharpening. So what this does is during your game you sharpen and there's a little green line that goes around your greatsword sharpening icon, and for about a minute your weapon doesn't decrease in sharpening. Really, really great, especially when you couple it with the speed sharpening tool. Now with my sharpening, it's just one hit of the whetstone and I'm good to go. I can actually confidently sharpen my tool sharpen my greatsword mid-fight without having to scurry away, without having to hide around corners. And then once I've done so, I've got the confidence that I can be hitting all my charge attacks and I'm not going to lose any sharpening. Very, very exciting for me as well, because I'm trying to focus on a affinity build in terms of getting a high affinity, high sharpness, and ensuring that all of my hits are charged and that I'm getting all of my bonuses. So here we are with the critical eye. We've got a 15% increase to affinity. With the weakness exploit, we've got attacking weak spots that have 50% increased affinity. One thing to note with this one is that you have to make sure and double check the actual weak points on the monster that you're hunting based on the weapon that you're using. It's those specific areas that are going to be the weak points. If we go to our hunter notes, for example, got a field guide, go to any of these ones. So say for example with Azorathalos, the weak points, the head, the back and the tail specifically for greatsword. But you can see here the head is the weakest of the lot with 3 stars. So it'll be a 50% increase in infinity. What we'll be wanting to do is focus mostly on the head with that particular one. So if we go back into it, bring those things back up. Speed sharpening, very excited about that. Means we can keep my weapon as sharp as quickly as possible, and coupled with the weapon sharpness is there as well. That's great. Now this is just a gem I'm using as a filler. Same here for this slot. I'm not really focusing on these, nor are they part of what I would call the build. They're just gems that I have at the moment. Finch free. I'd like that to get a little bit higher if I could. And then Affinity Sliding. Affinity Sliding for me is actually quite a go-to for Greatsword because of the fact that you can charge your Greatsword while you're sliding. And most of these maps actually have some great areas for Greatsword players to slide. So this is exciting for me. I've got the 50% affinity bonus with the weakness exploit, and I've got an additional affinity bonus for my slides. Now the short time after sliding usually equates to about 10 or 15 seconds, but in some key areas of specific maps that's actually a lot of time for you to slide into the area. You can charge your greatsword while sliding. I've had some really big hits this way with all of the affinity bonuses that are rolling around. But yeah, I'm really happy with this build. At the moment I'm just playing around with different greatswords, seeing what's a bigger importance for me in terms of sharpness and affinity. And then really everything else is completely optional based on what you want to do. If I'm looking at here, I've got various, where's my equipment? I want to sell equipment. What am I doing? So at the moment, I'm playing around with the Exploiter Charm for the weakness exploit, but then also looking at the Critical Eye. So I'm not quite sure which one I want to focus on in terms of focusing or prioritizing the affinity bonus or the weakness exploit. I'm just mulling around with that, seeing which works best. But overall, I'm very, very happy with this build. This is my go-to high rank armor. I'm pretty confident with most battles here. The only thing I'm doing is changing my rarity 8 greatswords according to taste and weaknesses and exploits. But yeah, he looks badass. He's pretty well-rounded. I don't have to worry about my armor whenever I go into specific things. But I think moving forward with my gems, and once I get up to the higher rank where I can start looking at melding particular things, I think I'm going to start looking at earplugs, anything I can do to stop any kind of chargebacks or the dragon shouts and what have you. If anyone's got any particular tips in terms of how they think this could be improved, or if there's any other armor sets that you think work really well for greatsword, I'm all ears. Leave some comments below. Would love to see what you guys are using as well. And yeah, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. See you guys later.